Howdy everybody in YouTube land. Yeah, I finally got a tripod so I can do these videos a little bit better. Anyway, before I can wrap up this revival series, there's one other thing I got to do. Is I got to take and test all three of these boards to make sure they're going to do a system install to the hard drive from the floppy drive. So basically I test a floppy controller and a SCSI controller all at the same time. Plus while I'm in the System 7, I can go in there and play sounds or whatever, make sure the sound hardware is working correctly. Anyway, so unfortunately I don't have any 800K discs, so I can't test or install the operating system using 800K drives, which is what this machine is. This is actually a standard SE with the dual 800K drives. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put this single 1.4 megabyte high density drive in that has the hard drive cage. I got this from another Macintosh SE which I scrapped out, which was a flea market find, but the battery had exploded on the motherboard and completely destroyed the logic board. Plus the case was cracked, so I threw everything away, but I did save this. Turns out the original mini scribe 20 megabyte stepper motor hard drive was bad, so I threw it away. It was really strange how it acted. Sometimes it would read it and boot the system, but if you tried to format it, it wouldn't format no matter how hard you tried. But it would boot from the drive, and the file system was there on the drive, but it would not format it. It's almost like the interleave was wrong or something got screwed up in the drive somewhere. With stepper motors it's completely different, so I threw it away. I junked it. And then I did save the ROM set from this logic board, so I can convert this unit, which is this board right here. I can convert all three of these chips to the more standard 1.4 megabyte, because you have your ROM high, your ROM low, and then your IWM, which will be replaced with the SWIM, which will give it the 1.4 megabyte capacity. So, without further ado, we are going to grab the screwdriver wherever I put it. Darn it, I can't find a screwdriver. I just had the thing too. La la. There it is, right behind the tripod. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and take out the drive cage. I might speed this up in iMovie, it just depends on how long it takes and if I can figure out how to do it, because I've never done it before. All four screws are out of that. So now I should be able to pull out the drive cage right here. Perfect. The drive cage. Well, wrong direction. Okay, so pull out those drive cables. Set this. Whoa, there's disc in there still. System startup. That won't work. High density disk. Okay, now I get behind the drawer because I want to grab something that I took off the old case. Move the tripod out of the way. Okay, so found a piece. It's this little guy right here, which is a slot cover for the upper drive to indicate that you have a hard drive in. These are actually somewhat rare, but I took it off the old case, so we're gonna snap that guy right in there like so. Assuming it actually doesn't fall out. If it does, I'll just yank it out of there. Go ahead and put our high density cage in, which that was epic fail. Come on. Does it fit this case? That's the next question. There we go. All in place. Next order of operations is to go ahead and put the screws back in. Next screw, last screw. Voila! High density cartridge cage is now in place. Last thing we're going to do is we're going to plug in the floppy disk drive cable to the high density floppy drive, which I should have done before I put it in, but I didn't. Here we go again, doing everything backwards. Okay, that's now in place. So now, with that in place, I can go ahead and get the SCSI jazz drive hooked up, because that's all I have handy at the moment is a working jazz drive. Go ahead and get it hooked up and get my system disks made, and I want to go ahead and start the install process. And put this board in, and I just noticed that there's a solder block inside the floppy connector. I missed that. So I have to fix that before I can do anything else. Hello everybody on YouTube. Everything's finally set up now. Went ahead and got our jazz drive set up. Got the machine all hooked up. Everything's done rather crudely, of course. So first thing we got to do is grab our jazz disc. Have it handy. Set it out of the way. Start up our machine. Hey, we got a chime, so that's a good thing. Means the sound circuit works. Make sure we get our good blinking question mark of doom. We should. The brightness set just right so the camera is more favorable with it. Okay. Got our blinking question mark of doom. See if we can zoom it in a little bit. Alright. Grab our jazz disc and put it in. Asking for a password because I must have set this one at one time or another. And it's going to fail because it's got System 8 installed on it. So, but that's a good thing because that means for sure, hit the reset button. That means for sure that the SCSI disk drive is operational. So, what we have to do is make our System Tools 7.0.1 floppy disks, and we're going to use that machine here to do it. So once we have that guy set up, we're going to go ahead and get our System 7.0.1 installed and working, and we'll be right back. Okay, we're going to go ahead and insert disk tools now. I mean the install disk. I went ahead and used disk tools to erase this jazz drive. For some reason I'm thinking there might be an issue with this floppy drive itself because I booted this thing up before off that disk and it would boot and work fine, but as soon as I shut it down and put the disc back in it, boom, wouldn't take the disc anymore. So I'm thinking, since this drive has sat for so many years and it's full of dust, I don't have a cleaning kit to stick in there real quick, so I'd have to disassemble the entire drive without losing the alignment to clean that drive, so I don't lose the head alignment. Just like cassette tapes, the heads get ferrous oxide or whatever else on the material build up on the heads, and then plus that needs cleaned off, and then the heads need demagnetized like a tape drive or a VCR or something like that. So it's all vulnerable to the same problems and the same maintenance. We'll go ahead and do our System 7 install. Welcome to the Apple installer. Take it over to the Jazz drive and do an install. Install tube, tidbits. Okay, let's go. We're good. A disk error occurred. See, yeah, I'm gonna have to pull out the emergency situation. Pull out the old manual inject drive and do it that way. Right back while I remake this disc. Howdy everybody in YouTube. Let's try again using a manual inject drive instead of my one that's in there, because I honestly think the drive needs demagnetized. It's not damaging the discs physically, it's damaging them magnetically. Meaning I have to initialize and reformat them before you will read again. So that's why I'm thinking the actual drive heads become magnetized over the years. Yeah, the bootloader that's on the Jazz disk is still protected via password using HWT hard disk utility formatting partitioning style program. It's called HWT hard disk toolkit. If I remember it from back in the day. Don't think it's around anymore, sadly. It might be. I don't think so. Hopefully this works. I wish I had 800K discs or double density discs. I don't have any, otherwise I would use these two the original drives. But I can't, so I don't have the discs. I used to have boxes of them, but they've all went bad over the years. They've lost their magnetic permeability, just like cassette tapes do. They wear out. Okay, let's try this again. Install. Let's see what that does. There we go. Hey, that's a little better. Well, I have to yank the drive out there and disassemble it. But first I'm going to have to find a new head demagnetizer because I don't have one. Because I'll have to demagnetize the heads and clean them. Of course, while I have it apart, I'm going to re-lubricate the drive mechanism, because that's the number one thing that goes wrong with these drives, is the mechanism will stick. Sometimes it won't eject, sometimes it won't take it, it'll go halfway and stop. I actually have a floppy drive here that does that. It's an external. I picked these guys up at the Dayton Hamvention for $5. It's a 400K floppy drive. There's only one problem with this though. They cut the blasted cables off, so these drives are pretty much junk. I mean, the drives mechanically might still be alright, but of course they're going to need cleaned and all that fun stuff too. So anyway, that's pretty much the gist of that drive. I got another one of those drives too. Got two of those drives. This drive here I'm going to have to do something with. Let's yank it apart and all that fun stuff, see if I can't get it working again. But I'm going to go ahead and let this guy install, go through all the installation procedures, and I will be back. Don't take long to install System 7. At least not System 7.1. Okay. Now, insert the disc, install. Take this disc and keep this in the proper order, because I don't have labels on those discs, so I have to keep them in the proper order. Disc cleaned out of the way, put in the install floppy. Alright, successful. Quit. And just popped out the jazz disc, popped out the install disc. So we can just restart the computer. Give it a test go. Get these in proper orders so I can go through this procedure again on the next board. Got to put the jazz disc back in. Alright. Password in. Let her start it. Doesn't take long at all to install System 7.1 on a Mac SE. It doesn't even take long at all for the Mac SE30 to start up System 7.1. Done. System 7.1 was pretty hefty, bloated for the time period. That was not bad. It's got a total of the Macintosh SE30 with a total of 4 megs of RAM. The operating system using 1.369 megabytes of it. Let's see. Puzzle. Whoops. Wrong program. Close. Yeah. Calculator. 5 times 5 is 25, of course. Control panel. Bring that up. Date and time, which of course is going to be wrong because there's no battery installed. Oh yeah, just a note. That's 1904, not 2004. In case you were wondering. Hey, let's open up the color control panel. Black and white. Of course. There's no color monitor. So, there you have it. This board works perfectly fine. And as you can see, System Software 7.1 is pretty snappy for a Macintosh SE30. Try to run that on a Macintosh Plus or an SE. It'd be extremely slow. Open up the main drive and it shows we have a little over a gigabyte free, because it is a jazz disk. Let's just open up the README file, just for fun. World System 7.1 ready. Tells you the guide, what's new in System 7.1. So we're going to go ahead and shut down the system, and we're ready to go. Thank you for watching.